Oh, GT3 update, right. So if you watch my Hatton's Class 66 video, you'll have seen that I had the GT3 back on the tracks. That's because I've tried fiddling with it. Incidentally, as I said in the last video, I'd contacted Rails of Sheffield to see whether they had any ideas about what was wrong with it, why it was jumping off the tracks and everything like that. And they said they would give me a ring, and they haven't. It's now Monday night. They promised to give me a ring either Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and they haven't. So, yeah, it's a bit of a letdown there, but never mind. One thing I thought was maybe the wheels on the back on the tender were not gauged properly. It's all it takes is just one to be slightly out of place, and it can bugger it up, especially when it's going over the points where there's these little grooves that the wheel has to go into properly, otherwise it gets shoved out the way, and that's what causes things to start jumping off. So yeah, I got it back out and had a look, and one of the wheels did seem to be slightly misaligned. So I had a little bit of a play with it. I mean, but when I say slightly misaligned, I mean just by eyeballing it, because I don't have a gauging tool or anything. But I just kind of eyeballed it and seen that one just seemed to be slightly out, so I had to give it a bit of a wiggle about and, pushed it and, pulled it, spun it, whatever. And then when I eyeballed it again, it seemed to be okay. But then I've tried it again on the inside loop, the second radius curve, and just like I say, it goes around the actual curves, no problem. It's just when it gets to that point there at the back and that one there, it just does not like them. It's like I say, if it wasn't so much of a gauging problem, because it will go over these 2 points here, fine. It's just when it gets to the back, it sort of objects. So I've no idea. I have no idea what's going off there. I mean, if we've just got, it'd help if I plug the controller in, wouldn't it? When I'm going to demonstrate. Here we are with my controller, and now I've got to fiddle, try and get this thing in. For some reason, even though there's only one way for it to go in and it just slips in, for some reason, whenever I try and do these controllers, they always put up a fight. But yeah, so that's that in there, and as we can see, there's the Hatton 66, and look, goes over those 2 points that the GT3 hates so much. It goes over those points, not a problem. Smooth, efficient, speedy, sexy. But yeah, the GT3 still is kind of objecting to going over those points. So I don't know. I really don't know. But and here's one thing that I've done, and maybe I should have plugged both controllers in at the same time, because we're going to run some power through this GT3 now. And I'm going to show you what it does on the third radius oval. There we go. God, that's such a faff. I don't know why it's so hard to connect the bloody things in. All they've got to do is just go into the hole and press down, but they fight you every single step of the way. So yeah, so here's what the GT3 does on the third radius oval. It runs absolutely perfectly. I mean, well, I say perfectly, it does have some wheel slip. I mean, as you can see, it doesn't have any carriages or anything attached to it, but it is suffering wheel slip here and there, which I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with it. I mean, I cleaned the track; it was absolutely spotlessly clean the other day. When I did my original video on this, I cleaned it to make sure that it wasn't anything that could be blamed on my track. And but then it's still wheel slipping. So I'm going to put that down to the engine portion of it is quite heavy, but I don't think it's heavy enough. Or, as some people have suggested, far too much of the weight is placed on the front bogie. So that's a thing that you can do, you know, basically to change its centre of gravity, so it's putting more weight on the driving wheels instead of the bogie. Which is, that's easy enough to do. I can sort that. But as you can see there, the tender is not jumping off. The tender's running smoothly. We can also see the rather nice lights. You know, we've got the lights on the front there, and you can sort of see the red lights on the back there. Obviously, like I said in the other video, the cab is supposed to light up, but that's only a feature that comes on when you put a chip in it to run it on a digital setup. But yeah, we're going round. It's looking sexy. So am I going to send this back? No. I was all very much prepared to send it back if there wasn't some sort of solution to get it running. But as you can see, it's running as long as I don't put it on the inner loop. One thing I will try and do at some point is change the points on that loop to see whether, you know, I'll buy brand new. Literally, some of my stuff, some of my track is second hand. So if I buy a brand new points setup and put it on, and it won't have it on the brand new points setup, then that is a problem with this and not with this. So yeah, was this worth the money I paid for it? No, it wasn't worth the money I paid for it due to the problems of it being finicky about what sort of track it will run on, and the fact that that tender seems to be very light. According to the engineering diagram, that's supposed to have 3 big metal weights in it, but I don't know what sort of metal these weights are made out of, but it certainly ain't heavy metal. You know, if there are weights in there, then maybe they're made out of cardboard or something, because I've got some steel wheel weights, just 3 steel wheel weights left, and hang on, where are they? Here we are. I've got 3 steel wheel weights left over from when I was working on the German Class 50. These 3 together weigh about the same as the tender. So if this is the tender with weights in it, those weights aren't worth you know, the time of installing them. I haven't opened it up yet. I'm now curious to see what's inside it. Maybe I'll do another video when I eventually do open it up to see what's going off inside it, because that's a question that I want answered. So the next video featuring the GT3 will probably be stripping it down and dissecting it, because it's like I said there. There's problems. You know, I've got to change the centre of gravity on that over that front bogie, and I've got to work out why, and probably put some weights in that tender to stop it from being as light and sloppy, and help the help the GT3 put its weight down on the tracks, because you know, this is supposed to be a high-speed passenger transport, high-speed passenger locomotive, and although it's running quite nicely now when it's not having to pull anything, the amount of wheel spin that it gets just on its Todd leads me to believe that when it's got, you know, a few carriages on it, it's not going to fare too well. I don't actually have any carriages to show you apart from the posty one there, but that's attached to my 66. I can't be bothered getting it off, so there we are. But yeah, so GT3 update number 1. A workaround solution has been found, but not a fully satisfactory one. So I'll keep you updated on what goes off with it as and when things happen.